Are you saying you know where I am because you have my pubic hairs stored away in some somewhere?
Anything about pubic hair? It's out of here.
We got a safe in a wall with, different bodily fluids.
Let's not. Let's not.
Well, this just took a dark turn. Everyone make a sanity roll now.
Well, fantastic. I don't think that YouTube is going to let us put this video up.
Welcome to DungeonBrew.
Welcome back to Dungeon Brew's Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition series, The Dance of Madness. We're back here with our investigators. They have arrived at Hank's Angst. They've been doing some looking around, discovered some information, and they have been moving around the shop. Some of you have books, some of you have papers. You might start to be coming together or whatever you're doing with that to have a discussion of what's going on.
So I'm currently standing over next to Theodore. We just finished kind of talking about whether or not I could trust him and if he had my back, which he had confirmed that he did. So I think at this time I'm probably going to pull out the book that I'd found and just kind of start flipping through it and reading through it to myself. And I had already handed him the journal that I had found from Hank's Angst.
Okay, so you're starting to look through that. Let's just go with Theo. What are you doing?
I will probably be taking time to look through the journal that Simon just handed me.
Okay.
See if I can figure out what Hank had going on in here. I believe at this point, Theo and Simon are not aware of the chains and rings in the back of the building, right?
That would be correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, he's just going to be focusing on that book and seeing what's been going on around here.
So we found 2 different journals of Hank's. Is that right?
So one of them is a journal, and some of them are just some papers he had, maybe like more memoirs or things that he just wrote on.
So on his body is where the papers were.
They were in a bag by his body.
That's what you handed me.
Yes,
right.
That's what I gave you because I looked at them and I had no idea what it was.
Right.
Every decent man carries his memoirs in a bag on his person.
Yeah.
Yes. His man purse.
He is ahead of his time.
So Jack is perusing through the notes he was given. Skimming them more than anything. He's not one to, at least in this setting, not to sit down and like thoroughly read, understand. It's more of he's going to skim, see if anything catches his eye, and at the same token, just kind of continue taking his surroundings. Everything that's kind of transpired on the way here is very like he knows what it was, he knows what happened, but all of that is very much outside his usual wheelhouse. Like usually it's 1, maybe 2 things, not 8 giant beasts chasing a car. So just making sure, watching out for numero uno.
Okay. As you all are kind of having this go on, you will hear someone come into the kind of the warehouse back here, and you will see, or some of you will see, Officer Stevens, and he'll just be like, are you guys, have you done what you need to? We have the fire built. What's going on in here?
Oh, good job there, Stevens. Boston's finest. Good job. Yeah, that was Boston. I don't know where the hell that came from. Anything, you guys see anything outside?
No, we've got the fire going, but I hate to ask, with everything that's happened, but did you find the book?
No. I've not, anyway.
Book are you talking about?
The book.
Yes, I will. Given that that's
Actually,
why
just
we're
kind
here,
of motioned to all the books on the walls. Just like,
you want a book? There's books all over.
we've been very protective of the information because everything that's happened, or what we were supposed to do, but with everything that's happened, the sooner we find this book, hopefully the sooner we can get out of here. So if you can help find it, then that's all I care about. Look, we're looking for a book that has a symbol on it. I don't know what it looks like, but all I was told is it's supposed to be the Book of the Ibis. And I don't know anything other than that. We were just told we would know it when we see it, but there's supposed to be something that looks possibly like an ibis on the book, and that's all we know. We know that, or we were told that Hank had this book, and we needed to deal with him and get the book.
Can I roll in a cult? I don't know if it's a cult, I guess. Can I roll, see if I know what that is or what
Sure.
that book is? What
I
is
would
that?
like
I
to
mean,
do
a
that
cult,
too.
knowledge, what?
You can roll a cult.
A cult?
You mind if I try
Nice.
and figure that
Yeah.
out too?
Both of you can.
Normal success with a 69.
I failed with a 99. I have not succeeded
So-
on a single roll.
Theo, you were trying to think about this book, and you actually rested your arm on the shelf, and it kind of jiggled a little bit, and one of the books was not very well placed. It even fell and kind of hit you in the head, and you're just kind of like, oh wow, okay. So you're kind of out of the conversation because you're still trying to figure out, are you okay? It was kind of a heavy book, but it didn't seem to do any damage. But you're kind of out
I'll
of the
grab it and put it
conversation.
in my bag.
Yeah. So there's that. As far as Jack, you are going to recognize that the book itself you haven't necessarily heard of, but the fact that it references an ibis reminds you that it could be like a symbol of some type of deity or some other worldly being. And the one that comes to mind is you think of Egyptian mythology of Thoth, who was supposed to be the god of wisdom and forbidden knowledge and magic and a whole bunch of other things in there. And his symbol, he's quite known for having the symbol of the ibis as one of his symbols for him. So it seems to you that it might make a connection. And Thoth is thought to have written many occult books that were very common that he has written. Now, whether they're authentic, that's another question, but he has been known to write quite a few, or there's been books credited that are magic in nature connected to him.
Okay.
Sergeant Rogers
Stevens?
Whatever. We would probably make much more headway if you would spend some time warming yourself by the fire. Can I persuade him?
Sure.
Just letting him know that I don't care about him. That is a successful roll of 36.
Okay. He's going to just kind of okay, and he'll start to walk out, but he will then, you'll kind of hear a little bit of a commotion outside, and it sounds like the other officers are yelling, and then it just kind of goes silent.
Sure,
So-
they're fine.
And Officer Stevens starts to kind of make a towards it, but he comes back in, and he actually gets up here on the stage and just backs away from the door because he is not. He does not really have much bravery after everything he's seen.
Does it look like he's seen something, or is he just backing away from the noises?
He's backing away from the noise. Everything, like you heard a commotion, and then things went quiet, and that was it. And then you'll hear a door or the front door move, and you'll hear footsteps, and you will see a man come through, and it is Detective Confers.
I am going to move in front of Simon.
Okay.
After the screaming and such, the commotion stops.
What was the? What I was going to say. Was the nature of the commotion?
Yeah,
Are
what
we
was the
hearing like
commotion?
blood
So-
curling screams? Are we hearing tap dancing? What's happening out there?
Sorry, yeah, let me. You would have heard maybe some shouting and then probably like a loud pitch, like of shock or a little bit terror. Not necessarily of pain, but you just would have heard something and then it just went quiet.
Okay.
But one thing you will notice that the lights have not flickered, like has happened before when there was shadow magic present.
Mm-hmm.
So you will see Detective Confers just standing there. He'll, for those of you who can't see him, he'll just kind of have this blank look on his face. He's just staring.
And this was the detective that was in charge at the police station, correct?
No, this is the one in the other car that went, kind of just stopped and crashed into another one.
Gotcha.
And you guys never knew what kind of happened there.
Oh.
Can I do a spot hidden
Sure.
to see if, like, are there any life in them eyes?
Sure.
He's got pretty.
Is there that,
That's an
that
83.
twinkle?
So, good thing you didn't roll higher, otherwise I would have made another book fall on your head. But, yeah, so you're not really gonna read much, but his face does look just like a blank expression.
Is there any, would I know of any instances, cases, where these shadow beasts would possess a dead or near-death individual?
Make me an occult roll. So at first you were thinking,
Great success
and
with an 8.
you kind of just were thought, well, maybe this guy's been injured, maybe he's in shock, but then something seems off, and you're like, the shadow beasts, what you know of them will take people into the shadow realm. What happens to them, you don't necessarily know. Shadow beasts, though, typically don't possess people. However, there are other creatures from the shadow realm that will do possession, and you know them as, I believe that you have it in there when I looked, they're known as lost souls, and they operate very different from other creatures from the shadow realm. They typically use trickery or trying to get people to draw them by just saying their name, and they try to lure them closer in order to try to attack them or even possess them. And they will actually try to stay out of the shadow realm or return and just linger in shadows, stalking their victims, trying to get them in there. So you're familiar with that, and you start to make a think that maybe this might be it. And as you're noticing this, you're just going to hear him start to talk, and he's going to, Chaplin's a wonderful town. I hope you all will stay here and live.
I'm going to whisper into Theodore's ear. I've always prided myself as being a picture of composure. I'm cool as a cucumber and a crisp gin martini, if you will, but that man there, he's about as steady as a Mayfair clock. I'm not sure we could go much closer to him.
No, I think we might want to back away.
I'm
Not sure what's going on.
I'm going to step back a couple paces.
I'm gonna, without addressing him individually, here, buddy, just don't say his name. Don't talk to him. And yeah, try not to carry on a conversation with him.
I just
Who
want
are
to
you
point
telling
out
this to?
this entire time.
I'm telling this to everybody, so I'm saying this fairly loud.
Like you're screaming from the stage up north.
Yeah.
Declan has not been a part of any of this at all. He's been on the back wall, pacing, smoking a cigar.
His old man ears can't pick up anything. He doesn't know what's going on.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he hasn't, like, all he hears is just you guys having a conversation. Like, he's kind of lost in his own thoughts and not really paying attention to what you're doing or what's going on.
And given your position...
And well, that's what I was going to say, is I'm so far away from the door that any of the commotion, I don't know that I would have registered necessarily either.
Yeah, and I think that'd be accurate, given your position, how far back you are in the warehouse.
You got a lot of explaining to do here, Theo. I have no interest in dealing with any more honest-to-goodness monsters. It's been all tentacles and teeth so far. I think that we need to make an end of this pretty quick.
Officer Stevens is gonna kind of look back at Jack like confused and just like, Detective Confer, are you okay?
Stevens, shut the hell up.
Look, I've worked with this guy. He's gonna move closer to him, and it's like, are you okay? And Confer will make eye contact with him and start to move towards him, and you'll just say, Chaplin is a great place to live, and I hope you choose to stay.
Is Stevens wearing a red shirt? I'm just curious.
He just has a red like bow tie, you know.
Stevens will start to be like, what do you mean stay? What about the other officers? What happened out there?
Stevens, this is the last time I'm going to say it. Shut your mouth.
Go ahead and put my hand on my gun under my jacket as me and Simon are backing up on the shelf.
Yeah, I think I'd like to try another persuasion and yell at Stevens. You need to listen to Jack, Stevens. You need to step away. The dick doesn't lie to you. Okay. That's going to be a success with a 54.
All right. Stevens will kind of look over at you and something doesn't seem right. And about that time, Detective Confers just moves with lightning speed up to Stevens, grabs him, and basically with one hand is choking him and lifting him up in the air.
I'm going to turn to Simon and tell him we need to run.
No argument with that.
Cut my freaking hand.
Detective will look over at you, Jack, and just be like, Chaplin's a great place to live. I hope you stay.
Piss off, you turd. And I'm going to cut my hand and cast Banish.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh.
Shit.
And
I can't push it. And I got to roll a 1d3, right?
I think it is, yeah. All right. Anyone else going to do anything as you're watching?
Oh no, that hurts.
I think that Declan, you probably would hear a little bit of the commotion, but I don't know if you're interested in coming closer or you're still just like, this cigar is really good.
I'm not really even paying attention to the cigar so much as I'm just lost in thought.
Gotcha.
But hearing commotion and registering, I will move to the end of the shelves and poke my head around. Seeing the one cop like lifting the other cop with one hand, choking him, I will pull out my gun.
Okay.
Which I'll just shout, "Put him down!"
And he will look at you and tell you the same thing. Chaplin is a great place to live. I hope you choose to stay here.
No, I don't want to interrupt what Declan and Jack are doing. I'm just saying I'm running towards the other door that leads to the front part of Hank's Angst.
Theo's with him.
You will see that Officer Stevens is really struggling. He is like digging his hands in, trying to break the hold, but he cannot break the hold.
I asked Jack what the hell is going on.
That's not who you think it is. That's
I know that.
That's another
Can
one.
I
That's
shoot
another
it?
one of them. You could shoot the hell out of it.
All right, I will fire.
All right, shoot.
It's gonna be right in Jack's ear.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's all right.
Oh, I did this wrong. I fired once apparently.
Nice.
All right,
Oh,
so success for
Boom.
a 10 damage shot.
So you hit Detective Confers, and he drops Officer Stevens, and he just goes down. And Stevens falls to the ground, and he starts to try to like, he's gasping, and he's trying to get away. He is just in shock.
So
and
as he's moving,
Detective Confers is just not moving. He is laying on the ground.
I will move up on the stage between Stevens and the detective.
Okay.
Just putting myself between the two of them.
Okay.
Keeping my gun still trained on the detective.
And as you're looking at this, what is everyone else doing? You would have heard the gunshots. Did you go through the door, Simon?
Yeah, Simon will. By the time he gets on the stage, I imagine Simon will be making his way through the door for his next round.
You will see there are 3 officers just standing at the door. They very much have the same blank stare. They are just standing at the door. They'll look at you and, like in unison, they'll say, "Chaplin's a great place to live. You should choose to stay."
Bloody Stepford cops, shoot him!
They're not making any movements toward you. They're just standing there at the door.
I will follow the instructions of my butler, and I will fire 3 bullets,
Okay.
one at each one.
Okay.
And that is going to be 3 successes at 84, 81, and 93 with damage at 6,
Really good damage.
9, and 10.
Okay. You will see the bullets hit these 3 individuals, and when it hits them, they just stay standing. And they look back at you and say, "Chaplin's a great place to live. We hope you'll stay." And as you guys are approaching on the stage, you will see Detective Confer kind of look up, and he'll bring his hands together and start, "Oh, that was a great show, gentlemen. That was a great show. No more. You don't need to shoot me. I mean you no harm. I'm Hank, and I'm here to talk with you." And he's going to start to stand up, and Confer's body is going to stand up, but you're going to hear this voice that seems to be talking to you in a very different manner. "Sorry for the theatrics, but since somebody killed me, I had to find a way to be able to talk to you all. I think you have some other friends in the other room. You might call them over here, just so we can all be together."
I'm going to use my last eyeball and use sight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking sideways at Jack, waiting for instruction. And I'm kind of backing away, kicking Stevens with the heel of my foot and making sure that he's continuing to back away with me.
Stevens he's actually probably back here in the corner in the fetal position.
Yeah,
And-
I'm just putting distance between us and keeping my gun trained on whatever the hell that is.
And unbeknownst to what's going on in the other room, my gun is still raised at these 3 officers, ready to release 3 more bullets.
You will hear, "Theo, I think that was your name. Theo, get in here and join. It's been a while since I've seen you."
Do I recognize his speech?
I would say, I don't know. It's not his. No, it is his voice. It is his voice. You would recognize this as the voice of Hank.
I'm going to be very confused. And probably put a hand on Simon's shoulder and ask him to come up to the stage area with me to see what's going on.
I'll come with you, Theodora, but don't be a pushover. I come in and close the door softly as we exit that room.
My hand is still on my gun at this point.
You'll see the body of Detective Confers kind of turn as he hears you approaching. He'll step back a little bit so I can see you all. It's so good to meet with you all.
What do I see?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, you
I used
cast
sight. I
Okay.
did.
You're gonna see definitely there is shadow magic surrounding him, and that this body is possessed. But you are not familiar of anyone like talking through. Well, you might know it's possible, but you've never actually experienced that. I take that back.
So, possession in this, would I know, like, or maybe I don't know. Would I know how? Like, how? At all? It's possible for him to possess a body like this?
You would believe that this has something to do with a lost soul has possessed this body. but you're not really sure, because when a lost soul possesses, they typically have very limited
Right.
ranges of knowledge or of either the person they're inhabiting or who they used to be. So this does not seem like anything that you would know what the heck's going on.
Okay. All right.
And he'll look over. Oh, look at that handsome devil over there laying on the ground. I look forward to being back in there. Oh, but, gentlemen, I want to welcome you to Chaplin. It is one of the best towns there is. Almost near perfect. And I'm so glad you've all come here to be a part of this town.
That's a neat trick you got.
Why, thank you.
Takes a lot of, I imagine it takes a lot of juice to pull something like that off.
I'm again going to whisper into Theodore's ear. Do you know this Skid Rogue? What is this?
He's a witch.
Sounds familiar, but I don't know what's going on. I'm like whispering over my shoulder to Simon. I'm hoping that Hank on the stage isn't hearing me.
Look, gentlemen, I know you have lots of questions, and I would give you answers if it mattered. But all you need to know that come tomorrow night, you all will be members of this town. And that's all that matters. Now,
Hey, Declan, would you mind putting another hole in him? I want to make sure.
If he says that, I will pull the trigger.
He'll when he hears this, he'll actually turn to you and try to open up wide so you can shoot him.
Lovely.
Is it worth rolling?
Get him in the eye.
I mean, I'm going to say you hit him. And you hit him dead in the face. Let's just say, yeah. And it hits him, and he just... Oh, wow.
Does the bullet do any damage to the body?
It does seem to do damage to the body. Not like the sense that you see blood coming out. You actually don't see blood. You might see like this kind of black substance kind of ooze out a little bit, but then it kind of goes back in. And he just looks at you and, oh, does anyone else need to get that out of their system? I'm all about making this shopping experience great for you all.
Satan's walking around. Where the hell is Reynolds?
I am more than willing to squirt some metal if you don't start singing.
That's what I'm trying to do. So, a lot has happened, and I'm sorry that you all got pulled into this. I don't think any of you, except for the weeping man in the back, had much to do with my death. However, all of you now are going to have to be a part of Chaplin. So, I will give you time. I want you to explore Chaplin and see what it can offer and be for you. And come tomorrow evening, you can, if you haven't made the choice already, you can make the choice, or I'll make the choice for you. And you will all become part of my perfect town. You start to see this change in him. And then all of a sudden, a different expression's on his face. This is not a perfect town. This place is awful, and I have had to endure this with him for so long. Do not interfere with my plans. Allow the spell to be cast and be out of my way. If you interfere, I will make you pay. Do not interfere with my spell. I want to be rid of this prison. And then he switches back and he's, it's a lovely town, and you will all make fine additions. We might even be able to open up the grocery store again. Oh, this is so amazing.
Did I notice anything change with my sight?
Oh, yes, you definitely. This would have been something his aura would have changed, definitely. You don't know how to recognize it, but it was powerful.
Does he seem to recognize that he changed, or is it just like a skip as far as he's concerned?
As far as his behaviors, it seems like he has no idea that happened.
Okay. What choice do we have come tomorrow evening?
He doesn't seem to understand what the word means, as far as I can tell.
Sounds like.
So, I will give you the address to our restaurant. You can go there and choose to eat the meal there. And when you've eaten the meal, you will be part of our wonderful town. It's just an amazing experience that you'll be part of this perfect place. I've made it that way, and you all will help me make it perfect as well.
Tell me where Reynolds is.
Reynolds?
He was here. Came looking for you. Found your dead body back here instead.
Reynolds. Ah. There's no one in this town by that name. We have the... oh, goodness. There's so many people here that... Well, so many we've lost. But you all will be able to replace that. Yes, you all will be able to fill those positions. Our town will be better. I don't understand why none of you would just jump at this opportunity. You'll be part of perfection.
I'm done listening to this scrotum.
For starters, I already got a home and I got plenty of scratch. What really can you offer me?
You will live your life over and over the same way, never a deviation. It'll be an opportunity for you to just not have to ever worry about the world turning against you, about the hardship of the world coming down and treating you like you're different. You'll just be accepted no matter what.
Where are the rest of these accepted people?
Well, that's a great point. You can actually meet them. As I said, I will give you time tomorrow to explore the town. You can see the people that you will come to call your townspeople. But
Where have they been the last 2 days?
you've only been here actually a day, but I know it could probably seem like a long time. They've been just around. I don't know how to tell you if you haven't seen them. Anyways, my time here is growing short, and I would like to move on and give you all a chance to rest, and then tomorrow, see the town. See what it has to offer to you. And then we'll see which way you choose. The easy way or the hard. But just so you know, you're not allowed to harm my townspeople. Do not harm them. This is what will happen. And as this, you will see the body shake, and the lost soul will appear, and you will actually see this creature. Let me give you the image. But it'll leave his body, and this creature will just stand there and stare at you, and it'll just start walking out of the room to leave, making its way out the door. It'll probably start coming close to you, Theo, but it's not looking at you. It's not trying to engage with you. It's just walking to the door. Just let it walk by.
I'm actually going to push Simon back about 5 feet and move back as it tries to pass.
And slap it on the ass.
As it does, you will see Detective Confers. He'll gasp for breath, and blood will start coming out of his wounds, and he'll just fall down going, and he'll just be dead.
So he actually wasn't dead while being possessed?
Mm-mm. And
that's horrifying.
So there's going to be, some of you are going to have 2 sanity rolls, some of you will just have 1. Those of you who just saw the shadow creature, or for all of you, you will make a roll. But anyone who shot, which is Declan, you're going to make a sanity roll because you just realized that you killed this man, that your bullets were the ones that actually killed him.
I'm actually good with that.
And Simon, you will make a roll. I don't know if it bothers you that you shot the other 3. If you understand that you've essentially killed those people if they become unpossessed.
Yep.
Well, would he have seen, means he backed up 10 feet? And I'm asking, would he have seen the detective at that point? Because he backed up like 10 feet. So he's
Who are
now
you
between
talking
the
about?
wall and a bookcase. Simon and Theo.
Theo would have saw.
Back 10 feet from where they're currently standing? That put
Saw
him
what?
the
We
detective
didn't back
died.
up. We didn't back up until after the dude, like, depossessed him and started moving towards the door.
Right.
Never
I
mind.
mean,
Which I assume Confers died at the same time as the dude was walking out. Like, that would have happened immediately after the lost soul left, right?
yes.
So, like, we hadn't really moved back at that point.
So my first roll was a failure at a 72. My second one was a success at the 5.
Okay, so your first roll would be to see the shadow creature, and let's see here. And you failed.
I failed twice, by the way.
Okay, what we'll do is each one. If you failed, it's a 1 plus a D3, and if you succeeded, you just take the minimum damage of 1 for each of those things if you were involved.
4 and 3
Okay.
for a total of 7 lost.
Mm-hmm.
You said that's a D3 plus 1, and then it's just 1 if you succeed?
Yes, it's just 1.
So I have lost 7 points of sanity, bringing my total sanity down to 18.
All right. We will.
It didn't start high in this game, and I have not succeeded on a sanity throw yet.
So, with that, you will also hear, as the shadow leaves, you will also hear the doors close, but you'll hear some commotion as it sounds like the other officers that were standing there, they leave as well.
Oh, they survived?
They're still possessed.
Well, the souls do.
Oh, okay.
they stay
I thought
possessed.
the
as long as they stay in the bodies won't die.
I was ready to come out and find 3 dead officers on the ground.
Yeah.
That's
No.
what I thought was going to happen.
Nope.
What's my madness? I assume that I'm insane.
What you
Underlying insanity and bout of madness is both highlighted on my thing now.
Yeah. I'm going to say right now you are very apprehensive about using your gun.
Okay.
So anytime you do shoot, you will take a disadvantage dice.
Very good.
And as hearing the gunshots, you will hear Officer Stevens kind of poke around. What happened?
Well, for starters, my butler told me to kill 3 men.
We got to get out of this town. We got to get out of here. Screw the damn book.
You know a way
we
out
gotta
that
go.
you're not telling us.
I'm just gonna leave. And he's gonna start making his way to the door, and looks like he's just gonna bolt.
Someone slap him.
Can I try and reach him?
Sure.
So I'll run over and try and grab him.
Just make me actually a dex roll.
No, no way. That's a failure and a
Jeez.
98.
So yeah, he gets through the door and he just sprints out and he's gone.
So I'll run to the door and yell out after him. I didn't save your life, so you can go kill yourself. But he's gone.
Yeah, he's done.
Tried.
Jack's not going to say a whole lot. He's just going to start looking for this book.
Okay. You can
The book
roll
of it
a
is-
spot hidden. And I will tell you, we're probably around, I would say, about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. So we'll just split the difference, 10:30. And from what you understand, he told you that you basically have till tomorrow evening. You can
Right.
rest, you can explore the town because he wants you to see how amazing Chaplin is. And he fully believes that you will go to, he did give you an address for the place to go to eat.
Okay. Do I get out of curiosity, and I'm asking, do I get a bonus die because I know what I'm looking for? Book name
Sure.
and what the symbol is?
I'll give you a bonus die.
Because he knows it's not even in this damn warehouse.
Son of a bitch. Fail with a 77. I'm going to push that.
Go ahead.
Really?
So you are looking.
Failed at
and
an 80.
You come to this spot where there's an open. It's something's missing, and you're like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure it used to be there." And you just tell yourself that you were that close.
So I don't know if this works here, but I have a skill in library use. Is there a way to look at how the books are arranged and categorized on the shelves to determine where it would have been or how it would have been here if it was here? Or is that essentially what you just did with Jason?
Let's see. It would be, yeah, you could do that. You could see that there's a system, or see if you know the system. So you do. All right,
That is a success with a 12.
man.
I have a
You-
spot hidden of 70. Can't find it. This man has a library use of 20 and hits at 12.
So
He's heard of the Dewey Decimal System before.
you are looking, and you are fortunate. Apparently, Hank believed in the Dewey Decimal System, and you're just moving along.
Odd catalog.
You find you actually find a section that it's almost like he has a card catalog system, but you are not finding anything named of this book. And even when you look in the section where you think it would be because of how it's organized, there's
Okay.
it does not appear to be here.
Oh, this is the section for unholy, deadly, arcane books of the damned. Darn.
Oh, great.
And
the biggest
You
one
all
is
was
lost.
studied and educated like I was, you'd know.
The address does match one of the addresses that you have.
What?
Did I find
Don't
any
worry about it.
relevant book?
Who's got an
Like
address
anything,
to the
as I was
Baptist?
looking for this book of Ibis? Did I find anything interesting?
I mean, you had 2 fails, so I'm going to say that no.
Don't look at it
you
like that.
didn't. You were very focused, and nothing else stood out to you.
All right, that's a better way to look at it.
Uh,
My sight still would have been going on. Out of curiosity, did anything happen as I was looking around the rest of the room?
I don't know that you would necessarily notice anything. The ingredients are there. I mean, some of them might be somewhat magical, but they might have like glowed a little bit because of just how they might be used in spells, but nothing that told you anything.
Okay, if I find more eyes, I'm going to take those, though. Because
Okay.
I'm out of eyes now.
I will say you find some.
Cool.
I'm going to tell the rest of the group that I'm very confident that the book is not here, and that we should probably go to another location to look for it.
You really want the book that bad?
No, I want to leave the town.
So are you wanting to leave here, or do you guys want to regroup here for a little bit? Of course, I know,
before we
granted, you have
leave-
2 dead bodies here, so...
Before we leave, Theo wants to check out Confers' body and see if there's any residual, like that black goo or anything like that from the lost one that I could collect.
roll me a luck.
Fuck.
Asking Greg to roll a luck, that's just cruel.
There's none, unfortunately.
Simon has so many questions as his butler's trying to collect the goo from dead bodies.
I will snag some hair from the body before I leave it.
Okay.
What is with you taking people's hair? It's weird. You're a
Do I
weird
know what he's
man.
doing that for? Like, do I know what spell that would be for? That reagent would be for?
I
I don't
feel,
use
well,
the spell, but
you're looking for books and other supplies.
that's
I don't
fair.
know that
That's
you
fair.
see
I'm
that.
not watching him. That's
And-
fair.
Yeah,
And
so-
you don't know, because it's not for spells. It's just a thing he does.
You can't use that for anything. What are you doing? I just have a thing for hair.
I don't
He
know
took-
how this
He
campaign's
took
going to
Hank's
end, but
butt hair. I mean, this is not... It's not normal.
I don't know how
Alright.
things are going to end. I can pretty much guarantee you Theodore will no longer be employed by Simon.
How do you think I always know where you're at?
I am going to be absolutely insane by the end of this.
Are you telling
Yeah.
me
You'll
you're
be
gonna-
absolutely insane by the end of tonight.
It's not possible for me to make these rolls.
Are you saying you know where I am because you have my pubic hair stored away in some pizza somewhere?
Anything about pubic hair? It's butt hair.
We got a safe in a wall with, different bodily fluids.
Let's not. Let's not.
Well, this just took a dark turn. Everyone make a sanity roll now.
Well, fantastic. I don't think that YouTube is
John's
going to let us
insane.
put this video up.
All right.
So, all right, you all, Jason, make me a luck roll real quick.
Oh, you failed harder than I did.
All right, you find.
luck's
I'll say
awful.
you find 3 eyes.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else needing to? Anyone want to look? Or are you wanting to leave? You do have a workable car because you fixed up your car, so maybe that did actually work out for you.
See, that worked out in our favor.
I'm not sure what the benefits of resting are in this, or the penalties, or anything like that. How does that work?
You'll, if you guys take a rest, you will get to recover maybe some sanity and luck. We kind of did some of the rest with the your skill updates and that, but
Your luck can't go past what it started at, right?
Right, it cannot go over.
Yeah. I haven't used any luck, so mine's just shitty. Okay.
So there would be those things that you can get back.
Sure.
Because you might, even resting, you might do an activity that you like to do, which will help restore some of your sanity, or you may have a conversation with others that helps you restore some sanity.
Okay.
Also, if we wait till morning, we should be less likely to run into any weird shadow monsters.
I'm gonna go back to Hank's body. Does he have a wallet on him?
I think John took that last time, didn't he?
I think did you grab his
Did he?
wallet, or what did you grab from him?
Grab the papers. I don't know if I grabbed the wallet.
I
looking
No,
for his home.
the first time we come here, someone checked his wallet.
I may have tried to check it to see if I could identify him, but I don't remember that I did that, because I think I just asked you if it was Hank.
No, because it was Theo who took some hair.
Yeah, Theo took hair, but
Because when the police came in, you're sitting there pulling hair off of him, and
yeah, that was my point before. But I think that I just asked Theo if he was Hank. I don't know that I checked his wallet, and then I took from
Someone
him.
checked it.
I took from him his papers, and those papers I passed on to Jack. So I don't
Right.
think I have anything of his now.
I'm looking for his wallet. I want to know his home address.
so you can
Assuming
find
he
it.
has a driver's license. Maybe he doesn't.
I don't know. Were driver's licenses even a thing in 1924?
None of the cars work.
I
Why
don't
does he
know.
need a license?
Well, but it's also, I don't know that a DMV exists at this stage in history.
I'm trying to
That's
remember
fair.
at this point. I think there were sort of. I don't know.
There were some driver's licenses in some states, like Rhode Island and Michigan at this point, but most states did not have them. They didn't get passed as a general thing until 1935.
But I'll
Cool.
say that you find a paper, and
Get in.
Oh! In 1903, Massachusetts became the first state to require a driver's license.
boom, there you go.
Wow.
He's
that
got
was,
a license.
that was all planned. Well done, Todd. That was well planned.
So there you go.
Attaboy, Simon. Okay.
And you will see an address on there that'll give his home address. You gonna tell people out loud, or
Shit's crazy around here. Anybody feel like crashing at Hank's tonight? Wave his ID.
I don't know if I'll get much sleeping done, but that sounds like a good place to go.
so
There's
you'll
nothing here.
you'll say the address, and it will match the second address that you have.
Did he have any cigarettes on him?
Roll
I get
me
a
luck.
spot hit. Okay. I'm out of cigarettes, so.
It's not like he has
Son of a bitch.
cigarettes in his.
You have terrible luck.
I know. It's my cut up hands. I just can't search.
It's very distracting.
That's why you should be cutting your thighs.
All right, so you all are heading out, and you will come outside. You will see when you get to the front room that the counter's been
Counter.
ripped up. You will see a fire outside going, but there is no one out there. And there's your car, and you all can climb into your car, and you will drive to Hank's.
Is that good with everybody?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm impressed how you got to Hanks without MapQuest or something. GPS, MapQuest.
I don't think it's that big of a town.
But yeah, it's a
Yeah.
small town, and they have probably the east and west streets, and you see some of this, and so you maneuver around. Well, let's do this. Greg, Theo, give us a roll because you'll be driving. Is anyone helping him navigate?
Well, I will just because I need.
Not me.
All right, so
Oh.
you can.
Well done.
Well, I was going to give you. You can roll that one more
Navigate.
time. I was going to give you an advantage on it instead of having.
Okay, good.
Navigate
Might
him
be.
right into a
Yeah.
brick wall.
Oh, so I mean,
Oh, yours is a 10 as well.
Push it.
There you go. Okay, there you go, Theo.
Oh, Jesus.
You first kind of end up wandering around.
46.
You come to Main Street like 2 or 3 times, and you're just like, "What the heck?" And then finally, you come across and you see this house. This is the
Oh, yeah,
house you'll
it's
come
totally
across.
a haunted house. It's haunted as shit.
That is a beautiful home.
It's
That is
very
nice.
Yeah,
small.
there's weird carvings in the basement. I guarantee
It
it.
looks like a home for ants.
So,
Yep.
so you
Termites
come
love this
and you
place.
see this house again. On the outside, the houses you pass, you notice that most of them tend to look very similar to each other. And when you're driving, you'll see these houses again. They'll look nice. They look like everything's like it's supposed to, but yet there still seems to be something off about them. You can't quite put your finger. There's something that doesn't seem right. It just seems like they're superficial. And then as you are moving, you start to get a little farther away. And one thing you start to notice is the houses start to have almost like blemishes. Like there's certain things that don't look quite right to them. They're not built exactly the same. Like the houses closer to Main Street all look nice and meticulous. But as you get farther away, the houses' conditions start to not be built as well. Or you see like they have different wood than would be used. Look like shutters are just boards. They're not like really prepared well. And so you start to see that these houses, the farther away you get from Main Street, look worse. And they don't always look the same. But then you get to this house, and it looks nice. It's fairly well. I mean, it just looks good. There's maybe some creepy things going on with the windows, but other than that, you pull up to this house, and there it is.
You say that as we get further away from Main Street, the houses and the building construction quality and stuff starts dropping. Did we notice that when we came into the town?
No, for mostly what you saw when you saw Main Street and what you could see down the blocks, everything again looked like it was well kept.
So we
And-
wouldn't have driven through this outer
Nope.
area of the city to enter?
No, when you came in on Main Street. The Main Street connected to the main highway. You just drove straight down Main. There was a road that you took to the north that took to Hanks. And so all you really see are those 2 streets. And you would probably, from everything you've seen and what you know about the town, like no one that you ever know stays here. You've never seen a restaurant. There's nothing that seems to invite you to stay or a place to stay the night. It's more or less you come into town, you go to Hanks, and you leave. So you're all going to approach the house?
Yeah.
Do we see anything moving around the house
No.
as we approach?
Nope. And I will say that you had no encounters with anything as far as creatures or anything.
I'm going to go ahead and, as we get up to the front door, use sight.
You don't notice anything.
I'm just going to walk in.
Okay.
Well,
The door
assuming it's
opens.
unlocked.
Oh, yeah. This kind of town, you don't lock your front door.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Yeah, I'm just going to walk in.
No one lives here. Who are you going to lock it for?
So
Seems
you
like
open the
he kinda
door,
owns it.
and you're going to see, basically, again, the outside of the house does not resemble the inside. The inside's more run down. But you're also going to see that there is like writings across the walls, like someone's just been writing. There are papers everywhere of someone that has been writing. and scribbles and all these just stuff just scattered around that it doesn't look like anyone has really kept up the house. It's just, again, just there. But this seems to have a lot of things like papers and books. And like I said, the walls are going to be covered with things that you'll see. You'll obviously see is things about, I've got to make it perfect. I need a place to be perfect. And you'll just see this constant repeating of it being perfect and making the people perfect.
Well,
Said there'd be scribbles all over the walls.
start looking around, see what we can find.
I'm going to explain what like the symbol of Ibis would look like, or what it might look like, I guess I should say. If we're all going to split up and look for stuff, just in case the book's here.
And then maybe the layout. What are we looking at in terms of floors and number of rooms? And things
I'm not really going to make you have to go like room for room.
Okay.
You'll kind of walk in. You'll see a hallway. There will be a staircase that leads up off, maybe up to the little side. There's a little living room. On the other side, a dining room and a kitchen. Probably a bathroom. Well, actually, I'm going to say there's an outhouse in the back. This house is old enough that it probably just has an outhouse. And then you can go upstairs, and there are some bedrooms.
Is there a study, anything like that?
Study, office.
Yeah, you might find a study.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to start looking.
All right.
For
Same.
I'm going to start with
specifically
the
the
study.
book, but anything in general at this point.
I'm looking for stuff on Reynolds. I don't give a shit about the book, but if I find
Okay.
it,
Make me some spot hidden.
that is a 2-star success with a 31.
I pushed, but I had a success of 61.
I pushed for a success of 34.
I had a success
Alright.
with 64.
All right. So, Declan, you are specifically looking, and you don't necessarily find anything on Reynolds, but you do find some notes that first you find something, it's scribbled all over the paper. Here's the proof, here's the proof, here's the proof. And then you see some more meticulous notes that are well written, and you are able to look at them. So I'm going to share those with you. Other than that, the rest of you, I mean, you're going to find more notes on this spell. Whoever you guys, that he's been trying to work on. And again, you're going to notice that some of the papers are written in one handwriting, and other papers are written in another. And one of them seems very much focused on like the perfection of Chaplin, and the other one talks about basically wanting to be out of Chaplin and free of his imprisonment. And this spell, you will see, is written about. One of them is about making a person so they can't die. And this spell, from what you can tell, essentially allows a person to be in the shadow realm and the living realm, or in our realm, that allows them to not be pulled off into the abyss or the void, but they're anchored into our realm, but they also can't die because they're able to just leave their body and go to the shadow realm. Again, it's a very high level spell. You don't really know how it all works. You can probably, it would take a long time to research. You might be able to find someone that can help you, but right now, from what you can tell, that's what this spell is. Then you find this second spell, and again, you're going to find more notes on it, that essentially it's like it's trying to do the same thing, but with a book. And the book is the focus. But the spell is, the first spell was just something that was in one handwriting, but this modified spell is in a very different handwriting, and it seems to match the one that wants to be free. And it almost looks like, from what you can tell, is a banishment spell on the book to banish the book into the Shadow Realm. But if the spell is cast, it will consume every living person in Chaplin.
Right.
But that goes to or points towards Hank having the book still.
Yes.
All right. And who found this stuff?
I would say between the two of you, you both have more of a magic or an occult base that you probably found different notes and came together. So here's what we'll do. You all will be able to take kind of a rest. You can talk to each other. I'll let you guys make a roll of a D10 for your... Well, first you have to make a roll on your luck. If you fail, then you're able to roll to increase the luck that you have back up to the amount. Okay. And then if you, on your sanity, I'll let you guys roll a D10 to see how much you improve your sanity.
Restore sanity, right?
Restore, yes.
Okay.
So, Theo, that roll of 4 was for your...
Sanity,
so you gain 4. Declan, you rolled a 5 on your sanity or luck?
I haven't used luck, so I didn't roll for it.
Okay.
I haven't
So
either.
that got 5 on your sanity?
Yeah.
And Jack, you rolled a 9 for your sanity, and then Simon, you rolled a 5 to gain back on your sanity.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so this will be a time, again, that you all have a little bit of time to recuperate, even process. You can talk if you have information that you want to share with each other, but it's kind of your time to have a little bit of conversation.
So you're a witch, huh?
You talking me?
Yeah. Yes.
No. Witches are evil. They're evil bastards.
Casting spells, though, aren't you?
Hey, a lot of folk can do that.
Witches, right? Satan and all that? Is that what we're dealing with here? Cults?
Close enough. It's, the world's pretty grey. A lot of dark, a lot of light. It's not as,
A lot more witches than I thought were running it around.
Yeah, there are. There's a lot of them. Especially in Pennsylvania. It makes you make a decent living doing that.
Well, since you're a good witch, what exactly did you make of the notes about the spells that I found?
That's way above my head.
Oh, well, that's comforting, because I knew exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah, I figured as much. I might know a guy, I might not, I don't know. But from what I can gather, nothing good comes of it. Now.
Well, I think it has
get
something
out,
to do with how that fella was talking to us through the other fella.
Yeah, that was, I've never seen that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's something in those spells was talking about that, I think. That's how he was doing it. But, again, I don't understand it very much.
So, I still feel the book is the key. If we can find the book.
Oh, the book's in the Shadow Realm.
Did we confirm that's what happened?
No,
Wow.
he wants to bring the book to the Shadow Realm. That's what the addendum spell that we found talked about.
The alternate version.
So-
the other version of him wants to do that. Is the way it sounds.
Make me an intelligence roll. Or you can make an occult roll.
That can't be me, because I have a 5
No,
and a
yeah.
4. Okay.
Seriously? A 99?
There we go.
All right. So, all right,
Hey,
Jack.
There we go.
Theo, so first, you're kind of scratching your head at this and wondering where the book could be. And then Theo kind of pipes up about, well, that if the book is magical and he's trying to find a way to kind of destroy it sounds like, he's like kind of speaking out loud. And then you start thinking, well, maybe the book could be in the Shadow Realm. Like, it might be protected that it can't be destroyed, but maybe the spell is working to try to make like it so it can be destroyed there. And that you know about these books, if it is a Book of Thoth, that this would be a very powerful artifact that it wouldn't be very easy just to destroy. So it could be that the book is in the Shadow Realm, it just can't be destroyed yet. There's also another thing that you're going to probably pick up on, and that is the two different writings.
Yeah.
One of the writings seems to be under the illusion they're making a spell to almost make him immortal. The spell actually in the notes from the other handwriting is more about banishing and destroying the book.
Right.
So go ahead.
So it seems like there's a split somewhere, and even in your conversation, you saw this very different split between him.
From, like, my and Jack's knowledge, does this immortality spell seem at all, like, theoretically possible? Or is it just bullshit that whatever is possessing this guy is blowing smoke up his ass?
I don't think that you would think it was impossible. It would have...
It beyond our realm of capability.
Right.
Right. I understand
But-
we can't do it ourselves.
So, did you look at your one book that you found? The Ars
talking
Promus?
You haven't given me any information on that one. You gave me info out of the journal. But the Ars, I don't have any notes on that.
Okay. I think it should be open to you. I'm going to say that you have looked it over. One of the things that you know of is that certain individuals were punished by being sent to the Shadow Realm, making them immortal, like an immortal punishment. And I think
So
I
this
fixed
thing
that
is
for
in
you.
Shadow Prison? And he's trying to get out?
That'd probably be the closest understanding that you would have to it. So, all right. Any other conversations?
So, Peters, while they're finishing each other's sentences, do you make any heads or tails of this?
I can't say that I quite know what's going on, though I did have a book that I found that I wanted to speak about, at least with somebody who could tell me a little bit more about what was happening with it.
Well, that wouldn't be me.
Well, it says something about spilling some blood and bringing about a muse, though, that might help me write my playwright.
Right.
Is there any dangers in doing that, or...?
Typically, spilling blood's a bad thing.
Well, I've been watching you do it for the
depends
last
on how you
24
use it.
hours.
It's my blood, I guess.
Oh, this says my blood, I think.
I mean, if you use your own blood, there's less risk involved.
A lot of bad comes from that, too. What's the book, if I may ask?
Well, it's about muses and sources of inspiration. It says something about spilling my blood and bringing forth a muse. It'll give me some inspiration to better write a better playwright.
Can I see that?
Seems
Do you
excessive.
Do you mind if I look at that?
Sure.
I thought all the best playwrights just drank.
I do plenty of that and haven't quite hit it big yet.
Maybe you're just not drinking enough.
It's always a possibility. Oh, you did something that showed me a lot more information, Todd.
Oh, sorry about that. It should have been shown to you. I thought I had it set for you to see that.
Oh my gosh, look at all this information you just shared. Now I'm further intrigued. Telling me that I can, like, summon Cleo?
It's more about just knowing. It was just to have extra stuff in there, not so much that you're going to summon Cleo or. Those were just other.
Summon Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So while you're looking over that, to answer your question a bit better there, Declan, is there a way to actually enter the Shadow Realm?
Oh, I'm sure I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the Shadow Realm is. I don't know what the feck the book is for. I don't understand all this blood or the shadow things running in the streets. I don't understand where all the people are. I have no idea what the hell is going on.
You said something about about the book being there on the other side of whatever reality we're living in.
Well, that's just what Hank wrote in his journal, is that he was going to use some kind of witchcraft to send it into the Shadow Realm. But I don't know what that means. For all I know, the Shadow Realm is what he calls the outhouse.
That's about as much as I know as well. I was just thinking that if you could just step into the Shadow Realm, maybe we can step past the barrier and leave the town.
That's fair, if I understood what that was, or how to get there, or anything else about it.
Yeah, likewise.
So, Simon, is it? Don't do this. That's a bad idea. But you can, yes, you can get to the Shadow Realm, and you can theoretically get back.
So you could go there, step past the barrier, go out, get in a car, and drive home.
Theoretically.
If you can control the opening and closing.
And while I understand, Jack, that you understand a lot more about this than I do, you also told me to shoot a man that ended up just dying.
Yeah, that's. I apologize about that.
Do you?
Typically, that they're usually they're dead when that happens.
It makes you
Oh,
feel
that's
any
good
better.
to know. Is there any other nuggets of information that you might be passing along to me so I have some idea of what the hell I'm supposed to be doing?
We're probably all fucked.
Well, I
How's
understood
that for a
that.
nugget of information?
In Jack's defense, he said he hadn't seen something like this before. So he couldn't have known exactly what would happen.
I don't think that I was by him when he said that. I walked up and I saw him choking him, and I pulled out my gun and I looked at him and he said, "Shoot him."
If it makes you feel
That's what I knew.
If it makes you feel any better, my butler told me to shoot 3 men who will rightly fall dead the moment that whatever was inside of them comes out.
That's worse, if you think about it.
And I need to know from the 2 coppers
I just
that
want to
stand
say,
here with me,
I'd rather be dead after possession.
considering you killed a man and I killed 3, am I going to be arrested when we get out of here?
At this point, I have no idea how. Well, I don't know. To be fair, the guy I shot was choking another man to death, so I don't feel too bad about it, but at the same time, shooting him a second time probably didn't help.
Seemed to help your catharsis at the time.
That's fair. Not a good motive, though. So, I will be asking you guys, specifically, if you know any of the names that are listed in the police station notes. So, whether or not you know Igor Kepler, specifically, Gavin Thornburg, and I don't think that they actually give us the 4th name. So, it's those 2 and then Hank. There's 4 people total, though.
Do those names seem familiar to anyone?
I will have Simon make an intelligence roll.
Okay. That is a failure at an 81, but I can push it.
Okay. Oh, nice.
And upon
Nice.
pushing it, that gives me an 11 success.
At first, when you hear the name, it doesn't click, but then when they say, or they mention Igor Kepler out of Knott's Haven, you do like a double take, and this name and this location is actually something that many of the wealthy people that you run around in circles talk about.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place that they have. It's like a resort of the singing trees, and
That sounds good.
basically people say they go there, and the people don't know why, but for some reason there's a sound that comes from these trees that's just, people describe it as angelic or relaxing and making them feel at peace. And that a lot of rich people go, or you've heard of a lot of rich people, and it's almost maybe been on something you've been interested in, but you're just kind of like, eh. And so you would be familiar with this person's name and that location.
Okay. I'll share this information with the group.
Well, our investigators are combing through the information they have, but they cannot escape the fatigue that has overcome them, and they've decided to rest and hope that maybe sleeping on it will give them better answers. So let's find out next time in our next session, and we hope that you will join us for the Dance of Madness. Please like and subscribe to Dungeon Brew.
Dungeon Brew.
You kept cutting a different finger, and it was like, why don't you just use one finger to get the blood?
I feel like it can't be a finger. I feel like it takes a pretty substantial amount of blood to do this. I feel like a finger prick's like a diabetes test.
I'm gonna cut my inner thighs.
Yeah, he's cutting his inner thighs. That's what I was
Yeah.
do.
That's good.